Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's where I was going with this too. So tying this back into the banner on here with the round one linebacker, it seems like I'm more of a Jack Campbell fan than you are. But I want to ask you this because this is something that I've been talking about, and I alluded to it during the monologue here, where if the Bills draft Jack Campbell, then I think it's pretty evident that McDermott wants to run his style of defense. But if they draft someone like a Drew Sanders or Trenton Simpson, then I think more of these conversations that we're having are going to start to percolate here. Where if you take a Drew Sanders, who is projected to be a middle linebacker, but he's coming off the edge and he's very raw, right? Like that's the other thing about Drew Sanders is how much do you want to let this guy develop? Because Jack Campbell could be ready to come in day one. Drew Sanders
That's a tall
has only
order,
had
man.
1 year at playing the mic. So if we're in win now mode, do you really want to let him develop while this Super Bowl window is open? And then before I let you respond here, Trenton Simpson, if he's that Swiss Army knife, what does that say about the defense? Because I think for all the reasons that you just mentioned, if you draft Trenton Simpson, then I think McDermott plans on doing a whole heck of a lot of different things on defense when you draft a guy like Trenton Simpson and then you sign a third safety in Taylor Rapp. You still have guys like Terrell Bernard who are on the bench. And like you said, could we start to see more of a 4-3 where they take Taron Johnson off and say, okay, Trenton Simpson's going to play the mic for a little bit, and then we're going to have Terrell Bernard on the outside. Maybe we're going to switch these guys, and Bernard's going to play inside.
Maybe it'll be a pure 4-3.
Yeah. And I think this is something that we've talked about before, where maybe the Bills want to take a look at positionless football, where they don't have that true necessary Mike linebacker and say, you know what, we have three guys who can get the job done no matter what coverage or scheme we're running. It doesn't matter that we don't have to have that 6'5", 250-pound Mike linebacker. We can go get a 235-pound Drew Sanders and just do so many different things on defense that is going to throw off the opposing offenses.
Yeah, I mean, and that was even seen in, the way Teddy Cottrell ran it. It was almost positionless football with Biscuit, with Kelso, but also how much do you think confidence and McDermott subscribes to trial by fire? Because you're not going to get two more knowledgeable, accurate, and positionally reliable players than Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, backing up, setting your defense and setting the coverage for him. It's all something to think about.